What stupid rule did your parents make that backfired spectacularly? When I turned 15, my parents decided social media was rotting my brain and banned me from all platforms. No Instagram, no TikTok, no Snapchat, nothing. They took my phone and gave me an ancient flip phone that could only call and text. "We're saving you from becoming a mindless zombie," my mom announced proudly. "You'll thank us when you develop real social skills and stop living through a screen." At first, I was devastated. How was I supposed to know what was happening with my friends? But then something weird started happening. Since I couldn't scroll through my feed like everyone else, I actually started paying attention to what was going on around me. Really paying attention. I noticed things, like how Sarah from my chemistry class was always crying after lunch, how the new kid Marcus sat alone every day looking miserable, how my neighbor was getting packages delivered at weird hours and different cars kept showing up. Without the distraction of my phone, I became like a detective. I started talking to people face to face, asking questions, listening to conversations. Within a month, I knew more about what was really happening in our school and neighborhood than anyone else. Sarah was crying because her parents were getting divorced and fighting over custody. Marcus was depressed because he'd moved here after his dad died and didn't know how to make friends. My neighbor was apparently running some kind of side business selling homemade soap that was way more popular than anyone expected. But here's where it gets crazy. People started coming to me for information. It started small. "Hey, do you know if Jake likes Emma? Did you hear about the fight in the parking lot? What's the real story about why Coach Miller got fired?" Then it escalated. Kids would literally hunt me down between classes to get the latest gossip. Parents would invite me over just to casually pump me for information about their neighbors. Even teachers started treating me differently, asking subtle questions about which students were struggling at home. I became like the neighborhood news network, and everyone wanted to be my source or get my intel. My parents were thrilled at first. "Look how social our son has become. He's talking to everyone." But then the information I was gathering started getting more serious. I found out that the popular kids were planning to humiliate Marcus at the school dance by setting up a fake date. I warned him and he stayed home that night. I discovered that Mr. Johnson, 2 houses down, was cheating on his wife with the grocery store cashier. I accidentally overheard Sarah's mom on the phone planning to take the kids and disappear without telling the dad. This is when things got complicated. People started asking me to keep secrets, pass messages, and sometimes even lie for them. I knew who was dating who was failing which classes, who was stealing from the school cafeteria, and which parents were having affairs. Kids would slip me notes asking me to find out if their crush liked them back. Parents would corner me at the grocery store wanting dirt on their neighbors. I had become the town's unofficial information broker, and everyone wanted to use me for something. The breaking point came when I found out something huge. The principal was embezzling money from the school fundraisers. I'd overheard him on the phone talking about his new boat while complaining about the broken heaters that we couldn't afford to fix. I told my parents what I'd learned, thinking they'd be proud of me for paying attention. Instead, they freaked out. They realized their well-meaning rule had turned me into someone who knew everyone's business, and now I was sitting on information that could destroy people's lives. They tried to give me my smartphone back and told me to mind my own business, but it was too late. I'd become addicted to real-life drama instead of online drama. The fake stuff on social media seemed boring compared to the actual secrets happening around me. 6 months later, the principal got arrested. 3 families on our street got divorced. Marcus became my best friend and is now the most popular kid in school. My neighbor's soap business exploded and she quit her day job. My parents wanted to disconnect me from the digital world, but they accidentally connected me to the real world in a way that changed everything. Now I'm the kid everyone comes to when they want to know what's really going on. I know more secrets than a priest, and honestly, it's way more entertaining than anything I ever saw on TikTok.